So now I'd like to show you how to add posts to a WordPress website. We've already looked at adding pages and the content of pages. You're going to find this very, very similar. And the actual content's going to be identical. Just how we create the post is a little different. So let's talk about the differences in how we create post versus how we create a page. So for one, we have a separate section for post. And we've already seen that. So I'm going to go ahead and click on all post. And by default, you get one welcome post. And it's hello world. And it's very, very basic. If we click on this, you'll notice it comes up, hello world, welcome to WordPress. This is your first post. As long as I've been using WordPress, I believe this has been here. So it's very standard. We can go ahead and trash this if we want to. All right, so we're going to exit out of this one so we can go back and create our own brand new post. If I want to delete this post, I can hover over its name. I get a little submenu right here. I'm going to choose trash. If I want to add a new post, I'll click on add new. Now we click on the add new, we get a blank page that looks very similar to the add new page, but this is for adding a new post. There are a few differences, however, and they're mostly going to be on the right-hand side. And so let's take a look at our options over here on the right-hand side. So under our post options, we'll notice that we have status and visibility, and it's very similar. We can choose public. If I click on it, I can also choose private or password protected. When I look at publish immediately, I can choose once again a different date and time. However, I also have a new option here for post format. Now, by default, we're using standard, and most themes use standard as a default, although you can change this in your settings. You also have aside, gallery, link, image, status, audio, and video as pretty standard ones. You also have some other options here which are pretty standard, and each one has their own advantages and disadvantages. Your theme may add some additional ones or remove some. I can click here to choose stick to the top of the blog. This used to be called creating a sticky post, or what would happen is one post that stays above all the others. So if there was like a really important post that you want to have, maybe it gave you some background on why you're doing this, you could always put that up there. You can choose for it to be pending review, and this is especially helpful if you have editors. You want someone to go take a look at it. You can put in pending review. They can later on go and do a sort under all the items under pending review. You once again have your permalink, which right now it's just showing P equals 30. It's the 30th item. The reason for such is we haven't given a title. So let's come up here and add a sample post. Now, until we do a save as pending, this isn't going to change. If I click on save as pending, you'll notice that it comes up and it gives us based upon the permalink settings that we had set earlier. So it's got the year, the month, and the day, and then the post title. I can choose categories. Now, you can put items in multiple categories, but typically we recommend you only put it in one category. And categories are kind of like if you think about a file folder. So it lets you organize your things, but you can't have one piece of paper in two different folders at a time. So typically we're going to group things hierarchically in categories and choose only one category. We try to choose the best one. Now, one of the neat features that WordPress does have is you might go, oh, wait a second, I don't see my category here. I can click on the Add New Category button and automatically add a brand new category. So I do have some flexibility with this if I need to. Let me close the permalinking categories subpanels. I have tags, and tags allows me to add a lot of different things. So I could, for example, say sample and first. And as I create these, I have a bunch of different tags. So where I only choose one category, tags are more of a taxonomical version, and they allow me to group lots of things together. In fact, it's not uncommon to have different posts in different categories have some of the same tags. And so I can click on a tag as a reader and find all those different types of posts. I can set a featured image when I have uploaded media simply by clicking here. Now, I can look inside my media library, which as of right now I don't have any items, or I can upload a file. We'll talk about working with images and multimedia files in an upcoming video. I can also choose Excerpt, and an excerpt is a small little description of what this post is about. So this allows me to manually write something. So I might have set up that I only show the first, let's say, 500 characters of a post. So it gives a little hint about the excerpt. Well, I could write an optional excerpt here, and it uses that instead. The whole idea is to let me write a synopsis right here that's going to be hopefully drawing people in so they want to click on the article and read the whole thing. Finally, I have to allow discussions. This is two simple check marks, one to allow comments and one to allow pingbacks and trackbacks. A pingback and trackback is when another article lets you know that they link to your article and therefore they are pinging you back and you can track them. The comments are going to be user generated and people come in and add information. Now, sometimes there are some, let's say, sensitive types of articles, and you may not want to allow comments. And so you're going to simply unclick that, and now people can't write comments. I'm going to publish this. Once again, this looks very familiar. I'm going to click Publish. So you notice I have all this information here. Now, up across the top, I'll have some filters, and these are really nice if I have a lot of posts. And I've worked with WordPress sites that have hundreds, and in some cases almost 1,000 posts. And they got them pretty quickly. So for example, I might choose to say, hey, only show me things in the default category. I then click on Filter. And when I do, I only see those posts. Now, when I clicked on Sample Category and Filter, you notice I did have one item picked up. And that's because it picked up the subcategory as being part of the first category. With all of them, I see immediately who my author is, what my category is, what tags were used, and how many comments were here. So I have a large amount of data that I can use when I look at my post. If I still have a hard time finding things, I can use a search post in order to go and search for different items, and that makes it very helpful for me. So working with posts is where you're going to spend most of your time once your website is set up, and so it's very helpful to learn this and all the different options that are available to you, especially on how to create and modify your existing post.